So awesome. Welcome to yoga this morning. So let's actually go ahead and we'll start on our backs. And so just come to a comfortable spot on your back. And if you need any support, first thing like feet planted, knees bent, you're welcome to do that. Yeah, if you need anything behind your neck, you're welcome to do that. And so just start to take a few nice deep breaths in and out. And just a reminder for both of you and then anybody also who who catches this later in a replay, that I am just here offering suggestions, and it's your inner wisdom as well as any professional recommendations you've received for how best to move your body that you should be honoring. So as you start to drop into sort of the present moment here, just notice if that's easy or if that's challenging today. If it's challenging, that's okay. There's nothing wrong. And just see if you can anchor your senses in something that's happening right now. So maybe it's your breath as it moves in and out. Maybe it's a sensation in your body or the feeling of the floor supporting your back. You can even set the intention that any pieces of you that are not in present time come back into present time. And so from here, go ahead and start to draw your right knee into your chest. You can circle out your foot and ankle a few times or point and flex through your foot in both directions on those circles if you're circling. And then start to take that movement into your hip, drawing big circles in the air with your knee. Again, getting a few going one direction. A few going the other. And then start to bring your knee back to center. Bring your hands behind your thigh and start to reach your heel up towards the ceiling. And so your knee can stay bent. It does not need to go straight. And in fact, you might find a really nice deep stretch into your glute and your low back if you keep your knee bent, really draw your thigh towards your chest, and then really press your heel towards the ceiling. Yeah. And then from there, if it feels good to just take gentle side-to-side motions with your lifted leg, you can do that, just feeling the stretch perhaps move across the back of your leg. And then on your next exhale, gently draw your knee back down into your chest at center and start to take your knee across your body for a little bit of a twist. So it doesn't have to be the deepest twist you've ever done. Sometimes we feel it more in our spine if we take the knee further across the body. If you want to feel it more in the outer edge of your leg, you can even really anchor your shoulder down. Think about taking your top hip and drawing it back towards the floor slightly to resist that drawing the knee across your body, and just notice if that changes the stretch at all. to find what feels best for you. And then on your next inhale, gently bring your knee back to center. And exhale to send your leg down long on your mat. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Take a nice big full body stretch. Maybe in starting to lift your low ribs slightly, finding a little bit of an arch here. And then on your next exhale, draw left knee in towards your chest. And again, you can sort of point and flex to your foot or circle out your foot and ankle. And if you're taking those circles, make sure you get both directions if you haven't yet. And then start to take that movement into your hip. Drawing big circles through the air with your knee. Again, taking a few one direction. And then switching to take a few circles the other direction. And then bringing your knee back to center, bring your hands behind your thigh and start to lengthen your heel up. And so again, it may feel nice to keep that nice deep bend in the knee. Really think about drawing the thigh down and then reaching through the heel. So you're taking that stretch pretty deep into that point where back of your leg connects with your bottom and even your low back maybe. And then if it feels good to take those gentle side to side motions here, kind of feeling that stretch move some across the back of your leg, you can do that. And slowly bringing your leg back to center. Take a nice deep breath in as you exhale. Soften your knee down to your chest. Take it across your body. Again, for that twist. And so you may want to take the knee further across the body. Feel that a little more in your spine, or perhaps you anchor that left shoulder down really nice and deep into the mat. And take your top hip and resist the drawing of your knee across the body by drawing that top hip back towards your left just a little bit, and just see how that feels. Make sure you can take some nice deep breaths in and out here. Take another nice full breath in, exhale it all the way out. And then on your inhale, bring your knee back to center. Exhale, send your leg long on your mat. Inhale, arms reach up. Again, a nice big full body stretch. Taking any little side to side movements here that feel good, or any other shifts that your body might want. And then when you're ready, draw both knees into your chest. And we'll start to rock and roll back and forth. Take about 5 rock and rolls to eventually come up to your seat. So you might massage your spine a little bit with increasing intensity. Just rocking, seeing if you can feel that light pressure of the rock starting to awaken. And eventually come up to a seat. And so from here, we're actually gonna take our right hand, and before we really get moving, we're just gonna open up a little, do a little self myofascial release. So take your right hand, and I know it's gonna be a little weird because of the screen, but take your right hand and you're gonna take it over to the opposite side of your neck, to the left side of your neck, yeah. And take a moment here, turn your head, to your right. Yeah. And you should feel there's a big ropey muscle that kind of starts behind your ear and kind of comes down and towards the front. Yeah, found that. So then go ahead and bring your chin back to center once you've found that. And use your right fingers to just gently pinch and hold, just gentle up kind of by the top part of that muscle, and take a few breaths here. 3, 2, 1. Move about to halfway down the muscle. Just gently pinch and hold. 3, 2, 1. Move your fingers down towards where it connects kind of around to the front of your neck and your chest. Just gently pinch and hold. 3, 2, 1. Gently release your fingers and just notice the two sides of your neck feel different. Don't worry, we'll do the other side. So from here, now take your left hand, bring it over to the right side of your neck. And again, if it helps to turn your head chin towards the left a little first to kind of, and palpate, meaning just move your fingers around to kind of find that muscle, you can do that. Once you found it, bring your chin back to center, pinch and hold gently at the top for 3, 2, 1. Bring your fingers down to about halfway down. Gently pinch and hold. 3, 2, 1. Bring your fingers down towards the front part of your neck, almost where it enters towards your chest, and gently pinch and hold. 3, 2, 1. And then gently release and just notice anything that makes. Maybe take some little shoulder circles and shrugs. I sometimes find that actually my shoulders may be tight, but it might be because my neck and chest are tight and are kind of pulling it forward. So I often feel a release in my shoulders when I do that, strangely enough. So yeah, take some gentle twists here if you need to, whatever movement your body is kind of asking for, just to kind of help keep that release of the neck moving down the body, down the trunk. And then when you're ready, we'll meet in tabletop. And I might do a little less demoing today and a little more being able to watch you. So give a little more direct feedback. But coming to your tabletop, shoulders right over your wrists, hips right over your knees, and we'll take our cats and cows. So as you press down into the ground, start to lower your low ribs down, lift the top of your head and tailbone, inhale to look up. Exhale, press the ground away, scoop and round, tailbone and top of your head point down, and then keep that flow going, linking breath and movement. Inhale to arch and look up. Exhale to round and gaze down and back. Take a few more of those. Just really letting your spine get mobile. See if even as you drop your low ribs down and arch, see if you can keep lifting your low belly towards your spine slightly so that your core is still supporting your low back here. And then on your next inhale, come back to a neutral spine. And as you exhale, find your downward facing dog, tucking toes under, let your hips float you up and back. It's that inverted V shape. Beautiful. Pedal your feet if you need to, sway your hips. It's going to feel a little counterintuitive, but even though our hands are above our head and on the ground, see if you can draw your shoulder blades towards your hips along your back, and then take the bottom points of your shoulder blades, wrap them slightly to the front part of your ribs so that your low belly starts to scoop towards your spine, integrating upper back strength and core strength. Yeah, good. On your next inhale, glide forward to a plank pose by drawing armpits and shoulder blades continually towards your hips. Chest comes forward. Good. As you exhale, down dog. Beautiful. Warming up shoulders and core. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, down dog. Beautiful. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, down dog. Bring your big toes to touch behind you. Inhale to float your right leg up. Start with internal rotation. So both hip bones, the front part of your hips, are still pointing down. And you're lifting from the inner thigh of your lifted leg. All 5 toes on your lifted foot point down. And then from here, go ahead and bend your lifted knee. Start to roll your hip open, taking that stretch a little bit more into your side body, thinking about squeezing your lifted heel towards your bottom and pointing that knee towards the ceiling. Good. Maybe you take some circles here. Again, any movements that feel good. Take another nice deep breath in. As you exhale, release your right foot down. Inhale, glide forward to a plank pose. Go ahead and lower your knees for this first one. We're going to take a modified chaturanga. So we start with a really nice mindful chaturanga. So feel your low belly scoop up towards your spine by drawing the front of your thighs back towards your hips a little. Then start to shift your chest forward, reach your chest forward between your arms so that your elbows naturally start to hug alongside your ribs and drop back. Try and keep chest and belly in one line, lower to about 90 degrees, and then gently release all the way down. Inhale, find a baby cobra by reaching your chest forward, drawing shoulder blades towards your hips. Good. As you exhale, soften down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale to soften. Inhale, you can stick with baby cobra. Maybe you press through your hands. Come into your up dog. Good. Keep moving shoulder blades and armpits back. Yeah. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Take a nice full breath in and a full breath out. Bring big toes to touch. Inhale to lift your left leg. Good. Yes. Starting with that internal rotation. Beautiful. Press through your right hand just as much as through your left. Yeah. Nice. Now bend your lifted leg at the knee. Roll your hip open. And again, if movement here feels good, take that. And even though our weight is in the hands and the ground is still kind of beneath us, see if you can turn on your hanging muscles. So it's that idea of the shoulders sliding down towards your hips. Yeah, almost like gravity reversed. Beautiful. Take another nice deep breath in as you exhale. Good. Release your left foot back down. Inhale, glide forward to a plank pose again. So again, you can keep knees lowered for that chaturanga, or you can keep them lifted this time. As you exhale, lower body in one line, 90 degrees. Maybe then from 90 degrees, you scoop your chest forward by drawing shoulder blades down. Beautiful. As you exhale, find your downward facing dog. Take a nice full breath in and a full breath out. Take another breath in. Exhale. One more. Exhale it out. Look forward, step or hop to the top of your mat. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. Inhale, rise up. Think about rolling your inner thighs towards each other, medial, so they're rolling towards the midline of the body. Exhale, bow forward, keeping tailbone free and loose. Good. Inhale, flat back. As you exhale, plant your hands. You can either step or float back. If you're floating back, you're trying to land in your low plank, and then lower through your chaturanga, or whatever vinyasa is right for you. So if even keeping knees down is too much, you build strength in high plank or go straight to down dog. Take a nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. Take one more full breath in. Exhale it out. Now, whether you're looking or stepping forward, remember to integrate your core with your upper back muscles by taking shoulder blades, sliding them towards your hips, and then taking those bottom points, wrapping them slightly towards the front of your ribs, so that shoulders and core are working together. Good. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Really root through your feet so it's a whole body thing, that rising. As you exhale, bow. Beautiful. Inhale, flat back again. Exhale, plant your hands. Take your vinyasa. Good. Nice job. Beautiful. Full breath in. Full breath out. Come to the top of your mat. Flat back. Fold. Press to rise all the way. Really reach through your fingertips, but keep the shoulder blades moving towards the hips. As you exhale, bow forward. Low belly is still lifting as you bow. Inhale, flat back again. Exhale, plant your hands, flow through your vinyasa. Good. Take a nice full breath in and a full breath out. Come to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way to stand. So from here, as you exhale, drop your hands down. Right hand is going to come alongside your body. Left hand is going to scoop around behind you. If you can, you're trying to grab the arm below or maybe even above the elbow. And then use your hand to gently draw your right shoulder down and tip the top of your head to the opposite shoulder. So the bent arm shoulder. And breathe here. 3, 2, 1. Release as you exhale. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. As you exhale, sink your hips to chair pose, Utkatasana. Maybe that means stepping your feet together, big toes touching. Good. Sink your weight back towards your heels and let inner thighs, oftentimes if we're pretty tight through our glutes or the outer edges of our legs, it's almost like our inner thighs are rolling up towards the ceiling. See if you can roll your inner thighs down towards your mat and let the outer edges of your hips release. Nice. Take another nice full breath in. As you exhale, come back to stand, straightening through your legs. Sweep your left arm down by your side. Right arm comes around behind, grabbing below or above the elbow if you can. Use that hand to just gently help draw the left shoulder down away from your ear and then tip the top of your head towards your right, towards the bent arm shoulder. And breathe here. Take another nice full breath in. And as you exhale, gently release your arms. Inhale, reach them up and overhead. As you exhale, sink your hips once again to chair pose. So again, check in that you're really rooting through heels. As your heels reach back, it's like all 10 toes are reaching forward and inner thighs are spiraling towards the middle and down. And then from here, sweep your arms behind you. Maybe you just try and interlace your hands. Maybe use a towel, strap, or belt between your hands. Maybe you can even start to grab opposite elbows or bring palms together, fingers pointing down or up your spine. Make sure that the top points of your shoulders aren't still collapsing down and in, so move armpits back towards your spine a little if you can. Yeah. And then if it feels okay, start to lift your low ribs forward and up slightly. Lift your low belly away from your thighs so that your tailbone can soften and lengthen. And breathe here. Last 3. Good. Last 2. Take one more full breath in. As you exhale, release your arms, straighten your legs, stand up tall, shake it out if you need to. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, flat back. And then exhale, plant your hands, take your vinyasa. Beautiful. Take a nice full breath in, full breath out. Inhale to lift your right leg. As you exhale, step your foot forward. See if you can keep lifting your ribs towards the ceiling so there's room for your foot. Pivot your back foot down at an angle. Inhale, rise to warrior one. Good. Draw both thighs back into your hips a little to help square your hips off. And again, take your shoulder blades, slide them towards your hips, wrap them just a little towards the front to help lift your low belly. Beautiful. Take another nice full breath in. As you exhale, open to your warrior two. Good. Yeah, keep drawing your front thigh. Imagine it were gently moving forward towards your front knee. So it's like that front thigh is sliding in the same line as the knee. Flip your front palm up. Inhale to reverse, reaching up and back. Back hand drops down to your back leg or can even wrap around your hip. Good. Take one more nice full breath in. As you exhale, hinge here, right elbow to right knee. An extended side angle, left arm can reach up. And then we're going to flow here. Keep drawing thighs back up into your hips to help stabilize. Inhale, reach up and back to reverse. As you exhale, right elbow to right knee. Inhale, reach back and up, reverse. As you exhale, right elbow to right knee. Inhale, back up and reverse. As you exhale, right hand can now come elbow to knee, or maybe you can even come a little deeper, right hand coming down to block, book, floor, inside or outside the front ankle. Maybe you start to lift your gaze up towards your top hand. Keep drawing thighs back into your hips. See if you can lengthen your bottom set of ribs. Nice. Take one more full breath in. Now, as you exhale, you're going to start to take left hand down. You're going to pivot onto the ball of your back foot so your hips come to square facing the top edge of your mat, finding a runner's lunge. Lower your back knee down. Inhale to reach forward with your chest. Exhale, shift your hips back a little. Maybe you keep your front foot planted. We're going to flow here. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, hips move back. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, hips move back. And if the floor feels too far away, hands can always be on blocks or books. Inhale, reach forward. This time as you exhale, shift your hips back. And now maybe you flex through your front foot, lifting toes up, pressing heel away. Again, knee does not have to be straight. It's more important that the space where back of your legs meet your bottom is lengthening. And breathe here. Take another nice full breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale, shift forward and start to reach your arms up. As you exhale, drop your right hand down to your hip, a block, book, or the floor. And start to hinge here. Maybe side body stretch. And then we're going to start to take some upper body circles here. So even if your hand's on your hip, that's okay. Just really ground in. Stay grounded through both feet, both legs. And on your exhale, you're going to start to kind of lean forward and off to your right. And then you're going to open your chest forward. Keep the arm following it. Open out to the side. Open to the back. And then come back to the side body stretch. Just take a few more of those. It may feel funny, it may feel crunchy. So just do as best as you can. Listen to your body. Good. And then maybe switch directions and take a few other direction. Whoops. If you wobble and fall over, that's okay. But we're just maybe, you might feel the stretch in some different places than you do when we do this statically. So eventually we're going to come back to center once you're even on each side. And as you exhale, just bring your hand down. Go ahead, tuck your back toe under. Again, lift your back knee. We'll take some pressure off. Windmill up and open. Once again, come back to that warrior two. Inhale, go ahead and straighten through your front knee. Reach up and back. Take a reverse triangle. Good. Take one more nice full breath in. As you exhale, start to hinge. back. Try and keep both legs straight, but both thighs are still lifting back up into your hips to help engage the strength of your legs to support your knees. And eventually your right hand is going to ground, shin, block, or floor, coming into that Trikonasana, Utthita Trikonasana. Make sure you're grounding through the space below the big toes on both feet, as well as the outer edges of your feet. And even if your hand is at your shin, see if you can then take that bottom hip crease, press it back towards the back edge of your mat. So it's like there's a string lifting your top hip up towards the ceiling, which allows that bottom set of ribs to lengthen. You can stay here, you can come to half moon. If you're coming to half moon, you step forward onto your right foot, hand on the ground, or a block or a book, or maybe you engage the strength of both inner thighs as well as the outer edges of your hips, the strength of your core, and you float that bottom hand up to your heart center. If you wobble, it's okay. Good. Yeah. Take one more nice full breath in. As you exhale, soften your standing knee. Step back to your triangle. Inhale up to stand. And as you exhale, turn your right toes in, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale to open here, and exhale, bow. Make sure weight is even between both feet. Good. And again, knees do not need to be straight. To really feel the stretch in your hamstrings, you're going to want to make sure the space where back of your legs meets your bottom is lengthening. In other words, if you had a tail, you'd want it to be lifting more up towards the ceiling rather than tucked between your legs. So take a few nice deep breaths in and out. And on your next inhale, lift halfway up, and then the rest of the way up. As you exhale, pivot back to face the top edge of your mat. So from here, inhale to lift the heel on your back foot, square your hips off. As you exhale, start to bend into your front knee, and we're going to just sweep that back leg forward and cross it over top. So left leg is on top of right, coming into eagle. You can either cross left arm under, hands wrapping for your shoulders, or you can try bring forearms forward. If that's too much, just bring both forearms together, palms together. Arms can be uncrossed. So again, this is in a case where oftentimes it's almost like the thighs want to roll away from each other. See if you can take your inner thighs, roll them towards the midline and down. Yeah, nice. Take your shoulder blades, draw them down, wrap the lower parts of shoulder blades slightly towards the front of your ribs. Take one more nice deep breath in. And then as you exhale, unwind your arms, unwind your legs, step that left foot back again behind you, but with a slightly shorter stance, pyramid. Inhale to grow tall here. As you exhale, hinge. Try not to dump into the right hip. See if you can keep thinking about drawing your right hip up and back, drawing your left thigh into the left hip so that that stays even. Hands can come down to your shin or block or books or the floor. And then breathe here. You can stay right here, or maybe you bring your left hand, come up a little bit higher into your left hand, maybe even to your front shin, and start to open your chest and gaze towards your right. Yeah, so either arm can reach up tall, or if that's too much on your shoulder, bring your hand to your low back and just try and draw your elbow towards the ceiling. As you start to open your chest and gaze, your weight may start to shift out of your back foot. See if you can keep pressing through your back heel. And then think about drawing your back thigh back up into your hips so the left side of your core engages here to help roll your ribs open. Beautiful. Nice. Yes, wobbles are okay. Take another nice full breath in. As you exhale, release your lifted hand down. Inhale, soften both knees a little, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, just step your back foot forward to meet your front. Inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, flow through a vinyasa or meet us in down dog. Beautiful. Take a nice full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale to lift your left leg. Exhale, step your foot forward. Again, scooping the back of your ribs up towards the ceiling for some space. Pivot your back foot flat at an angle. Rise to your warrior one. Good. And so even though, because our feet are at slightly different angles, our hips start to open a little. See if you can explore drawing both thighs back into your hips. Explore bringing your hips back to square just slightly. Take another nice full breath in. As you exhale, open to your warrior two, turning hips and chest to face the long edge of your mat. Nice. And so again, if that back hip is tight, you might find your back hip almost like it's continuing to draw towards your back foot. See if you can take your front thigh, slide it forward towards that front knee, let the back hip come with it slightly. Beautiful. Flip your front palm up, inhale to reverse your warrior. Reaching up and back. Trying to keep that idea though of the front thigh sliding towards the front knee a little. Back thigh draws back into the hip just slightly, especially in the inner thigh. Take one more nice full breath in. As you exhale, hinge left elbow to left knee. Inhale, arm reaches up, extended side angle. Take a moment here to find length through both sets of ribs. Keep your shoulder blades hugging down and into your back. And on your next inhale, reach up and back, reverse. Exhale, hinge, extended side angle. Inhale to reach up and back, reverse. Exhale to hinge. Inhale, reach up and back, reverse. And then exhale, hinge. This time you stay here or go deeper into your extended side angle in some way. Keep exploring, pressing through the outer edge of your back foot, but drawing that inner thigh in so that there's length and softness along the outer edge of the leg. If you feel a lot of crunching in the set of ribs closest to your front thigh, see if you can explore what you might be able to turn on or soften that might allow you to find some length there. Take a few more breaths. Take one more nice deep breath in. Now, as you exhale, we're going to pivot and find our low runner's lunge. So pivoting onto the ball of our back foot, right hand comes down. From here, lower your back knee down. Inhale, reach your chest forward. As you exhale, shift your hips back. Maybe front foot stays planted for this first flow. Inhale to reach forward. Exhale, press your hips back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Good. Inhale forward. And then this time, exhale back. And stay here, maybe flexing your front foot this time. And take some nice deep breaths here, in and out. Finding length as best you can. Not collapsing through your chest. Keep thinking about lifting armpits a little. Keep thinking about moving shoulder blades toward your hips. Beautiful. Excuse me. On your next inhale, start to shift back to your front foot. Rise up through your chest and arms. As you exhale, bring your left hand down to your hip or a block or book or the floor. Awesome. And take a few breaths here, just feeling into that side body stretch. And then we're going to take everybody's favorite circling movements. So on your next exhale, start to hinge, reaching forward and across more, and then opening out to the side, and then coming back. And keeping that flow going. I'm doing 3 this direction as best you can. Good. Really rooting through your legs. Nice job. And then once you've done 3, switching directions of the circle. Yeah, wobbling's okay. Once you've done your 3 both directions, nice job. Come back to center. Good. And then release right hand down. Tuck your back toes under. Inhale to lift your back knee. As you exhale, pivot that back foot flat and arrive in your warrior 2. Inhale, straighten through your front knee, reach up and back, reverse triangle. Good. And then on your next exhale, start to hinge. So whereas before you were trying to draw that back hip forward towards your front thigh, this time you're going to draw your back hip back and up towards the ceiling, letting that front hip crease move back, giving you space and length as you tip into your triangle. Beautiful. And again, keep thinking about thighs, drawing in and up a little to support the knees. The knees might even have a micro bend to them. Yeah. Awesome. Beautiful job stacking your upper bodies over your thighs in one plane. And then you can stay here, or maybe on your inhale, you start to shift forward, finding your half moon, floating your back leg up. And if you wobble in your half moon, just notice which direction your body wants to fall. Chances are those are the muscles that are working harder than the others. Oh, I talked about falling and everybody fell. Power of suggestion. So make sure you're grounding through your standing foot. The roots of the shape begin in the ground. And if you're falling towards the outer edges, use your inner thighs. Think about drawing inner thighs back into your hips slightly. Take one more nice full breath in. As you exhale, soften your standing knee. Step back to your triangle. Inhale up to stand. Left toes turn in. We're setting up for another wide-legged forward fold. If a shoulder opener variation feels good for you, again, taking your arms behind you and opening through your chest as you bow in some way, you're welcome to do that. If you would prefer, once you've bowed, to take a twist of some kind or to work Skandasana, your side lunge, or even to invert here, you can always do that. We'll be here for 6. 5. And 4. 3. 2. And 1. Beautiful job. Meeting back in center. Inhale to rise halfway up, and then the rest of the way up. As you exhale, pivot back to face the top edge of your mat, rolling onto the ball of your back foot as you do. Step forward, sweeping your back leg forward, take it over top. So right leg is on top for your eagle now, and right arm comes under to either grab shoulders or to try and wrap forearms and palms. Good. And so again, just like chair, inner thighs are trying to roll towards each other. Let the outer edges of your hips release a little. Use the strength of your core and your upper back integrating together to stabilize the shape. Yeah, nice. See if your low back can feel soft enough that it's almost like you feel your inhale move into that space. Good. Take one more nice big breath in. As you exhale, unwind your arms, line your legs, step your right foot back again, pyramid. Inhale to grow tall here. And as you exhale, hinge. See if you can keep the right side of your core turned on this time as you bow, hands coming to your shin or blocks or books or the floor. And again, when you reach a point where you feel like you're starting to reach by collapsing through your chest and trying to like move your shoulders like forward in your body to give yourself more reach, See if you can actually just back off a little and bring the shoulder blades back into the back of your body. And then just let the stretch gently, slowly with time be worked from there. Take one more nice breath in. Now, as you exhale, we start to move into the twist here, the revolved pyramid. So right fingertips can either come to the ground or a block or book, or maybe right hand to left shin, and then start to roll your chest and gaze open to your left. And again, if it's too much to reach your hand up, bring your hand to your low back, try and just reach your elbow up. Make sure you're still pressing through your back foot, but drawing that thigh in. So right side of your core is engaged. That's going to help you lengthen both sets of ribs. So the twist comes from rolling top ribs back, bottom ribs the direction of your gaze. And if you are tight through your hip and your side body, that will be hard. It's okay. Good. Keep breathing as best you can. Take one more nice full breath in. As you exhale, release out of the twist. Step your back foot forward to meet your front foot. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Come to Malasana, your yoga squat. So if you need support here in Malasana, sliding a block or some books underneath your tailbone, you can do that. If you need to come to a seat, you can do that. And if you would like to play with crow pose or some other arm balance here, you are welcome to do that. Otherwise, you're also welcome to just stay. And again, go inward with your gaze, with your breath if you've gone somewhere else. Recommit to the present moment with your mind as best you can. Beautiful. Nice, Jen. Take another nice full breath in. And then as you exhale, just go ahead and slowly straighten through your legs. Bring your feet back to about hip width apart. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, plant your hands, step back, take a vinyasa or make your way just to your down dog. From your down dog, inhale to lift your heels high. As you exhale, bring your knees forward and down, come to your tabletop. Inhale, come to stand on your knees. So we're setting up for Camel, Ustrasana. So for Camel, you're going to bring your hands to your low back, fingers pointing up your spine if you can. If not, fingers can point down. And then try and squeeze your elbows towards each other and move your armpits back a little towards your spine. So that may be plenty, actually. If you're someone who's pretty tight across your chest, this is a lot right here. If you have a little more room in your body, lift your low belly and lift the front of your thighs up into your hips slightly, so that your tailbone, instead of lifting toward your head, is pointing more towards the ground. And then, if that feels okay and you feel like you still have more room in your body, you're going to think about taking your low ribs and reaching them forward and up, so that you're still lengthening your spine. So a lot of times we think back bends are about just going really deep. It's actually about trying to find as much space as possible and then working the depth. So again, this might be plenty. If you're someone who has more room, maybe your hands start to reach back for your heels. If as you do that, you collapse into your low back and you feel a lot of crunching, back off a little. Maybe just one hand goes back, or maybe you bring blocks or stacks of books. Last 3. Last 2. And 1. Nice job. Inhale to slowly come back up. And instead of going straight to child's pose, which we often want to do, see if you can come to a bent leg down dog. So hands come forward, tailbone lifts up and back, knees are nice and bent. So there's a lot of length in your low back here. And breathe. Last 3. 2. And 1. From here, come back to your tabletop. And this time we are going to go ahead and come to a child's pose. So knees, maybe knees stay together for this one, if you can, and start to sink your hips back. And if knees are together, arms can come alongside your body. And then you can stay here. If it's not good, knees together, take them wide. But if knees are together and you feel like you'd like to go a little deeper, maybe rabbit pose. So rabbit, you're going to cup your heels in your palms of your hands. You're going to try and bring your forehead directly to your knees and the weight right to the very top of your head. And then you're going to start to lift your hips up towards the ceiling, pressing into the space between your shoulder blades. You want to keep the weight on the top of your head, not roll it towards your back of your head or your neck. That can start to get to be too much of a stretch. And then breathe there. Good. Last 3. Last 2. And 1. If you were in rabbit, gently release your hips back down. Good. Take a nice full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale to rise. Back up to your tabletop. Walk your legs through. And as you exhale, come to a seat and roll onto your backs. So once on your back, go ahead and take your right ankle over top of your left knee. Try and keep flex through your right foot to help support your right knee. If this is plenty, just trying to keep both sits bones on the mat, both butt cheeks on the mat, then you can stay right here. If you've got room for a little bit more, maybe you start to draw your left thigh towards your chest, taking that figure 4 shape here in your back. Now, if drawing your left thigh towards your chest means your tail starts to curl up towards the ceiling or even into your chest, see if you can roll your low back down onto the mat. Maybe use a towel strap or belt around your left thigh. You could also start to take this towards a reclining shoelace, squeezing your thighs together so your legs cross at the legs and the thighs and knees, and then reaching for the outer edges of both feet. If you can grab the outer edges of both feet, try and start to draw your toes up towards your armpits and your shoulders while keeping your low back lengthening down into the mat and away from your head. Breathe wherever you are. Letting your shoulders and back soften into the ground, not holding any tension there or in your neck. You can always take a small pillow or a block behind your head if your neck needs a little bit of help releasing. Take one more nice full breath in. And then as you exhale, gently unwind your legs here. Take your feet nice and wide on your mat. Just windshield wipe your knees a little side to side. And then we'll switch sides. Left ankle over top of right knee. Staying right there. We're taking it deeper, drawing right thigh in towards your chest. Again, if you find yourself wishing your arms were longer to be able to relax your back more, let your arms be longer by using a towel or strap or belt. And you're welcome to stay wherever you are, or perhaps that shoelace, creating that pretzel shape. Just making sure again that you're not transferring any of the tension from your hips or the tightness in your hips into your shoulders and neck. Let those stay soft, and then let the hip stretch happen from there. One more nice full breath in, and exhale to gently unwind your legs. Once again, take your feet nice and wide on your mat and drop your knees to one side and then the other. And then if it feels good, keeping your feet nice and wide, drop your knees to one side, maybe to your right, and take the right foot, so whatever leg is furthest out away from the body, take that ankle across the other knee, just to help let the weight of that ankle draw the knee across the body a little more. Yeah. And then again, see if you can soften through your ribs and your shoulders as best you can. Your neck. Take one more full breath in. Exhale to release, and we'll switch sides. One more nice full breath in. As you exhale, release and uncross here. Send both legs long on your mat. You can wiggle your legs out a little if you need to. And we're setting up now for our shape of final rest, Shavasana. So whatever shape allows you to relax completely. That means planting your feet, knees up towards the ceiling. You can do that. If that means taking any other support, you can always do that. And as you start to settle into your shape of final rest, take a nice full breath in. And full breath out. Start to find the space between your inhale and your exhale, the emptiness. Silence the no thing. And just explore where else that space exists. Perhaps you feel it between the cells of your body. And the space around the sounds that you may hear. So just surrender yourself to that space, float there. And if there are any parts that resist the floating or that still feel buzzy or active, just let them be. Fixing is another form of doing. And here we are not doing, we're just allowing. Find the silence in the space. And slowly start to come back into your body, maybe feeling an inhale to help ride that back in more of your physical form. Maybe some small movements with your fingers and toes, with your wrists, and your ankles, maybe your head and your neck. Keeping your eyes closed, you can even just sense the four walls, the floor, the ceiling, the parameters of this time and space. You can sense the skin on your body. When you're ready, reach your arms up and overhead. Take a nice big full body stretch. Make your way to one side of your body if that feels nurturing. And then we'll meet in a comfortable seat. Once there, you can bring your palms together at your heart center. And just take a moment to feel either the sensation or the emotion or the resonance, almost like a musical note of gratitude. And just feel that spread through your whole, from your heart, through your whole body, through your whole being. Let it be offered up to this ancient wisdom lineage that is yoga, to all those who have come before, yogis, teachers, gurus, to all those who will come after. And let the gratitude not only be an offering, but also a gift that you receive. And from that place of reciprocity, of recognizing that an offering is also a gift, that we are all interconnected, we bow in deepest gratitude. I see you. I honor you. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.